Greetings, my dears. Welcome to this video. Today we're going to be talking about soft girl decks as a VR to Janaki at Catamancy Tarot. She recently released a video in her series called What's in My Basket, and she talked about how she was feeling the soft girl vibes, and I absolutely have been feeling the soft girl vibes, and so I thought it'd be really fun to look at what decks I've been using as of late, and also just generally looking at some of the decks that I feel are kind of soft girl decks that would be really cozy to play with when we're just in that like flowy, soft, maybe fuzzy, gooey feeling. With me right now, I have a little cup of some semi-aged white tea. It's piping hot. I also wanted to share my little rock that I have. This is my white stone that I just love so dearly. I feel like this like little, it's so lovely to rub. And it reminds me of like the hump that you like have right here, the one that's like right here. I don't know. I just wanted to share this like soft girl rock that I have. Which rocks I guess are not soft, but it was just giving me these soft girl vibes, and I just wanted to set the scene, set the tone. So yeah, let us start with, I have a ton of decks here, so I don't fully know what all I'm going to be able to get to, but I think I want to start with the Dream, oh gosh, I always say it wrong, Dream of Nile Tarot. This is a deck that I got on Kickstarter, and it has the pull out, what do you call that, like drawer, and I mean like the detailing on this is just so spectacular. But with Emma's artwork is just so, I love the backs. I should probably zoom in, huh? Look at that. It's so beauteous. But what I love about it is Emma's style of artwork. It's just so soft and cozy. Like it just brings this really like flowy feeling into whatever the reading is about. And I love how decadent it feels. Like it feels very decadent but very soft, like almost like a chocolate mousse, which I don't even know, that's not how I would have thought to describe it. But just when I think about like how, look at that, like look how much of a feeling that gives. Like it's so, I don't know, it's just makes me feel so lush. And I feel like there's different types of like soft girl vibes. This one, yeah, this is like more of a lush feeling, a very like flowy, maybe watery, something like that. But yeah, I think Emma's artwork is just so incredible in that way. Just the way that she blends the colors. It's just, it's so, I don't know. I don't know. Look at that. It's so captivating, and it's like striking but still very soft. I love it so much. I could go through this entire deck because it's so beautiful, and it just gives me all of the vibes. Like, oh my gosh, look at this star card. Look at that. Incredible. I absolutely love it. Oops. So that's the Dream of Nile Tarot. And keeping with the feelings of flow, this is the Flow Tarot. This one is another one that I've been using. I folded it into my lunar rhythm practice, where I have cards, like a reading that I do for the new moon, first quarter, full moon, and last quarter every month. And so this one is the one that I've been using for this current lunar cycle. And I've just been really enjoying the watery feelings. These are not very soft, but it's that flow, that flowy feeling, that connecting with the earth, that rooting in, but like in an earthy and watery way. I just find it to be so calming because it's photography and because it's so real. It gives that like, I don't know how to explain it, that like real feeling. It's like, because it's real water. I don't know. It's not like something that's like there to make you feel, but because it's so realistic, it gives you a very, I had to sneeze there. I don't even know what I was saying. But yeah, I love how grounding it feels, even though it's very like flowing and watery. It feels very connected to the earth and just reminds me that everything's going to be okay. Life is just a constant flow of change, and I can just enjoy the moment. It's a very presence oriented deck, I feel like. And it really, I feel like, meets you where you are. That's it. It meets you where you are, and it just speaks into that so potently. And yeah, I love that. I love all the keywords that it has on every single card. It's incredible. It's definitely like one of the top like water decks of all time, I think. But yeah. Or water element decks, or you know, it's just beautiful. I should probably edge it, but I just haven't wanted to. Like, I've noticed when you have a deck that's like really smooth on the sides, the like, especially with the Tombow markers, they don't totally stay. Like they take forever to dry, if ever, and they kind of like rub off, which kind of bothers me. So I'd probably have to use like a mild liner or like a Crayola, or I don't like using Sharpie, but anyway, I'll probably edge it at some point, but it doesn't bother me because the backgrounds, it's just such a colorful deck, and I love the bag that it came with. And yeah, that is the Flow Tarot. Speaking of earthy vibes, we have the Tongues of the Mother. This deck is just so down to earth, calming, because I think of the color palette because it's just such a, and like it just has really sweet details. I think, I don't know, there's something about like the beautiful detailing that just makes decks feel like really decadent and soft and comfy, because it just feels like it appeals to like that sensory aspect of myself. And yeah, I just feel like this deck, because of the color palette too, because it's just this gray grayscale deck, and it's very like traditional in that sense. It feels just easy. Like it feels like it doesn't need much from me, and it doesn't need much for itself. Like it's just showing up as is, and it's just really here to speak pretty clearly, pretty directly, pretty honestly. I work with this deck with Moose as well. I mean, not especially, but you know, I created a reading for Moose with this deck, so I feel like it's associated with that for me as well. You can't always see the beauteous. There we go. That gorgeousness on every card. Yeah, like it's just so simple. Like simple is just kind of what you need when you're in that soft feeling. You just want to feel like you don't have to work at all. You don't want to feel overstimulated. Like it's just comfy. Like it's just there for you. And like I said, it doesn't ask for much. I love it. I recently pulled the King. I'm not the King. It's because I'm looking at the King. The Knight of Cups, and I've just had it on my desk for just that poetic, soft vibe. And I love the majors in this deck. They are so, I don't know, tantalizing is the word that comes to mind. But yeah, Soft Girl feels very sensory, and this is a very sensory deck and very earthy. As I said, I like to read this deck when it comes to, like, it does have quite a bit of animals, considering it's such a, you know, a very minimal deck. Maybe not quite a bit, but, you know, plenty enough to feel very connected to animals and nature in general. Oh, I love this star card. It's so sweet. So hopeful, you know. But yeah, that is the Tongues of the Mother, which is I'm pretty sure my top deck from 2023. So maybe that says something about what 2023 was like. But yeah, Tongues of the Mother. And speaking of the mother, I guess we have a bit of a theme. I've actually pulled out the Mother Tarot. This deck I'm also using for my, oh, I hate that it doesn't have like slots, thumb cutouts or whatever they're called. Is there a word for that? I feel like I've heard someone else actually ask if there was a word for that, but the deck, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, this is the most recent card I pulled for my last video, but what was I going to say? This is a deck that I haven't found myself using ever since I got it, because I wasn't really sure like how to work with it and how to like really get along with its system and some of the particular details of it. Let me take a sip of tea actually. Wow, so lovely. What was I saying? But I decided to pull it into my lunar rhythm readings, as I was talking about with the Flow Tarot. I decided to use these two decks for this lunar cycle. And so that's been going pretty beautifully, sparking some incredibly deep and wonderful conversations with my QPP. It's just been a grand, grand time. It's just a really beautiful, evocative deck. There's a lot of pinks and really soft colors. I feel like although it's very colorful, it's not very like, I don't know if is saturated the right word, but yeah, it's not too like bright. It feels still very soft. Like all the colors feel very like welcoming, and like the characters even feel like super, super welcoming. Like it's just, it feels like you can be inside of your body and be in the world and be comfortable and be okay and be loved, and calling you to love yourself, love. Yeah, it's just a very, I feel like very loving, expressive deck, and it just gives me a lot of soft, comfy vibes. So yeah, that is the Mother Tarot. Ugh, and I love the backs. Like how, what a vibe. That is a vibe. Next we have kind of a no-brainer. This is my, I know you're gonna know it when you see it. Let me know. Well, I was gonna say let me know, but like you're gonna know it when you see it, right? This is the, I always keep all the extra cards in there, but this is the Gentle Tarot. I mean, it's in the name. It is a very gentle and beautiful tarot. I've edged them in the color of their suits. So like the majors are purple. You can see them here. It's kind of hard to see the colors, I think, but I think there's literally one card, because when I edged the deck, that card was out. I think it's the Chariot. And so I have never gone back and edged it. So whenever I look in the deck, I don't notice it obviously when I'm like pulling for cards, because I'm not looking at the edges. Like right now you can kind of barely see it, but anyway, yeah, this is the Gentle Tarot. I just, you know, it's been a while since I've worked with it, and I love this extra card. It's been a while since I've worked with it, but I think with spring coming, well, with spring being here, I should say, and I don't know, just the soft girl vibes. I just wanted this like gentle feeling, and oops. This, yeah, it's just, look at that. If that's not, you know, soft girl vibes, then I don't know what is. It's just really comfy, cozy, and I feel like it speaks to like the tenderest parts of you. And the guidebook, especially like the like larger version, I haven't looked at the shorter version in a minute, so I don't even know what that is even. But the larger guidebook, I mean, it's just so well written. Mari has done an incredible job just really speaking with such care. It's so caring. It's so caring and loving. And it just really seeks to be there with you, help you heal, help you take care of yourself, like just the utmost self-love and honor for who you are. And it's, yeah, it's just, it feels so like from Mari to us, like this beautiful gift. And yeah, so I wanted to pull it out. I've had it out. I haven't done like any readings with it. I've just kind of been playing and just looking at it and pairing it. Actually, it pairs really well with another deck, which I wanted to show. It's the Woodland Wardens, and this one I've pulled out. I mean, I've really played with these two together. So stunning. So nice. And I'm such a big fan of these decks together. Like, look at that. Lovely. Let me get that out of there so it's not distracting. It's kind of pretty though when you put it there. Look at that. Look at where they're looking like in different directions. Like, it's just so pretty. I just feel like they're just so lovely, so present Tell me that's not the softest of girl vibes, or the softest girl list of vibes. I don't know. I don't even know why I tried to say it like that, but yeah, this is the vibes. This is the vibes. This also, the Prairie Majesty is another one. I don't have that one with me, but that is another one that goes really well with Woodland, Wardens, and I think all three of them together, if I'm not mistaken, in my last like play around with these decks. But I feel like the colors go really well. The energies go really well. The Woodland Wardens is super, super. Let's just leave it at that. It is super. They both have a lot of animal energy. Obviously, the Woodland Wardens does, but the Gentle Tarot does as well. And it just feels like it brings in that animal side of you, but not in like this, like raw, like, in a raw way, but in a more like, I don't know. I would say primal. I don't know how to explain it. You get what I mean? Do you get what I mean by that? I don't know if I'm like portraying it the way I'm like feeling it. Look at that. I love this Nine of Stones. This Nine of Stones is such a vibe. Such a vibe. Don't we just want to chill like that? Just, without a care in the world. Just, that's me. That's me right there on the tree. And last one, we have Healing Wounds and the Seven of Stones with the Badger and Ginkgo. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, so that's the Woodland Wardens and the Gentle Tarot. Now I have a lot to clean up. And honestly, can you really have a soft girl vibes deck list without the Cantigee Oracle? This is the box. It is a ecological, spiritual guide, and creative prompt deck. I feel like that is just the vibe that you need when you're in that soft girl space, when you're just trying to like take care of yourself, be present in your body and in the earth. And at least this is what the soft girl vibe is for me. This is what I've been feeling lately. And I picked up this deck at the top of the month to take part in the fellowship practice by Don Michelle, and it's just, it really, really showed up for me and just was so utterly present and attentive to what I was experiencing. I feel like, yeah, that's what this deck is all about. It's just has such attention to the subtle feelings, the subtle energies, and but also, you know, the things that are really, really deep within. The watercolor also obviously is a big part of that soft energy. It's just really flows. Flow is coming up a lot. It just really feels like it allows you to flow into or be in whatever flow that you're in, and it doesn't feel like there's any reason to stop, to just be where you are. It allows you to just be. Yeah, that's the Cantigee for me. Definitely also feels similarly. Did I just say about the Woodland, like bringing out the animal side of you? I feel like this deck also does that. Like it feels like it brings out that animal side, but in a very just present. I don't know. It's just like not like remove yourself from like, I don't know, just be in that like raw primal feeling of being a being inside of a body experiencing the world. I don't know. Is that too, I don't know if that makes any sense. I tried again. I really did. I tried again to explain it, and I don't know if I did it, but anyway. See, there it is. You are seen. That is what the Cantigee Oracle offers in this soft vibe. Okay, and I'm gonna finish with these two decks here because I feel like I can't not show both of them. And I feel like they're kind of a cool matchup to put together because we have the Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck and we have the Dirt Gems Plant Oracle deck and guidebook. And I just love how they're like kind of this black and white feeling. So the Heavenly Bodies Astrology is, of course, I love that, heaven through earth and spirit through body. Oh, so kind and loving and caring. And what is it in here? To see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wildflower, to hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. Tell me this is not all of the softest of vibes right here. I give my life, no, I live my life in growing orbits which move over the things of this world. Perhaps I can never achieve the last, but that will be my attempt. I am circling around God, around the ancient tower, and I have been circling for 1,000 years, and I still don't know if I am a falcon or a storm or a great song. I mean, Rainer Maria Rilke. I don't know why I can't say it all of a sudden. Beautiful, beautiful writer. And yeah, so that is the heavenly bodies, and this is the dirt gems. We have this dope inside. I love the artwork in this deck, like such a vibe. But I feel like for this one, it's like the imagery is, it gives, I feel like for the same reason, sorry, it's like, I'm kind of a mess right now. But for the same reason that the packs are so interesting, I've never seen them together like this. But with the heavenly bodies being like this sort of white space, calm, flowy vibe, and then we have the what do you call it? What do you call it? Void feeling of the, let's zoom in. The void feeling of the dirt gems, it just kind of gives this cool feeling of just something to sink into. This is like something to like float and flow in, and this is something to like sink deep. And it's almost like a weighted blanket, like it just kind of like hugs you real tight. So I thought it'd be cool to look at these two decks together. I love how just quiet this deck is. It's so quiet. It's almost like the whisper of the wind, which is so interesting because this is almost like the wind howling in the night and the rain coming in, and it's just like so cozy, like rain sounds. And you can hear the rain just pitter-pattering. I don't know, I feel like I'm creating a scene. Sometimes when I like talk about decks, I feel like I'm creating this like this scene, but I feel like this video is even more so because of the soft vibe and aesthetic. How many times do you think I've said soft so far? How many times do you think I've said vibe? And so how many times have I said aesthetic? That would be cool to know. But I think, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think these go together as far as like a reading? Okay, so we have yang energy for proactivity, expression, doing, and forward motion. I really like the lines. I feel like the lines are really cool to see together like that. And then we have the rainbow. Let us see. That's really cool. We have skull cap with Aquarius. I think it could work. Depends on the reading. Obviously, it's all in context. Maybe soft girls can be looking at, you know, what's going on in the sky these days and then ask for some wisdom from the earth. And I feel like that's just like kind of the perfect connection to make. Ooh, water and lavender. In this deck, lavender is associated with the air element. How long has this like focus thing been an issue? Because that's weird. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with the focus. I haven't been noticing, but yeah. Ooh, that's really nice. I love that. That's also really dope. But yeah, I think each of these decks offer really, oh god, it's giving. Isn't it giving? This is not about pairings, but you know, sometimes I can't help it. The pairings just, they show up on their own and they ask to be appreciated. Ooh, Scorpio, that's me. This just makes me think of alchemy and the oil of vitriol because I've just been on that vibe these days. In my SKT study, looking at the Two of Cups. If you know, you know. Yeah. Absolutely lovely pairing. But yes, you get the vibes. Heaven and earth coming together to be with me in this time of cozy comfort and care. Oops, I lied. I forgot. I have one more deck. How can I forget my Remembering the Sweet Fool Tarot? This is the ultimate softest of the soft decks. Just utterly, gently, lovingly amazing. Let me see something here. What was this reading for? Ah, I remember. Okay, now that I know what that reading was for, I don't feel, these are the beauteous backs. I don't feel like I have to take them out of order. This deck can be quite deep, but I feel like it's soft in the sense that it really, it's almost like, what was I saying about the, I don't know, which one was it? Was it the Dream of Nile? I don't know. It has this like really deep way about it, but it feels luminous. It feels like it meets you where you are, and it provides like a sip of fresh water. It's like being on the beach, this like seashell, but it's also like being in the forest. It's like all of the coziest, most homey places. Yes, it's like being at home within yourself, and whatever that looks like. Maybe you've lit some candles, maybe you have, you know, all of your favoritist things. Maybe you're creating some art, maybe you are cooking. I don't know. What's the vibe with this deck? I'm trying to figure out when it comes to what kind of experience it is. Oh yeah, a nice cup of coffee. I feel like it's giving that. Like it's showing us what it is, you know? It's mood lighting. It's seashells. It's a little bit of, you know, maybe moonlight, some candles. Yeah. Maybe some, I don't know, some rope. Who knows what that's about? Anyways, so, yeah. Picnics, maybe. Okay. I see you. Pottery, maybe you're making something out of clay. Once again, we have the candles. Yeah, I think it's showing us all of what it's about. Yeah. It can be really emotional though, so maybe it's not. Maybe it's if you really want to go there with your emotions and you really just kind of want to be with them and explore them. This is the beautiful deck for that, I think. But you don't always have to. It might just be really like sweet and affirming and wherever you are. Look at that beautiful Empress. You're loved and you're beautiful. I feel like that's the vibe of Remembering the Sweet Fool and our soft girl feels. I wasn't sure if I wanted to try Janaki's collective reading that she does at the end of her What's in Her Basket videos, but I really wanted to give it a try. I decided to use 2 tarot decks instead of a tarot and an oracle. Lately I've been pairing a lot of oracle and oracle, but there weren't a lot of oracles on this list that I don't know, I just felt like I wanted to use these 2 decks. I wanted to use Tongues of the Mother because I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I just kind of vibe with it. And the Flow Tarot because, I don't know. Listen, I'm trying to explain it and I don't really know. So, but I wanted to try a 3-card reading as well. But I wanted to do a mind, body, spirit reading. So how can we care for our, like, how can we be soft and loving and caring with our mind, our body, and with our spirit. So yeah, just really taking care of our mental space, our physical space, our embodiment, and our energy, and kind of what's going on in our spiritual path. So yeah, we're going to pull 3 cards from each deck, and they're just going to bounce off of each other and give us a little collective reading for us all. Thought that would be fun. Thank you so much. Just while I'm shuffling here for Janaki with this series, I really love it, and I highly recommend you guys check it out because they're always really fun, and she always has some really cool decks. Like obviously the Spolia Tarot is amazing. All of her collage decks are amazing. I think it was the Transformational Tarot that she showed a lot of in this video was so good. Really love this. Oh gosh, you have to check out the video. You have to check out her channel, so go do that. But yeah, let's get back into the collective reading. I think that's part of the collective reading is that we all could do with some Catamancy Tarot. But yeah, how can we love and care for our mind and body and spirit as well? So for all of us, yes, indeed, our mind, our body, and our spirit. Oh, look how beautiful that looks. Okay, and then we have our card from the Tongues of the Mother for our mind, body, and spirit. That's so beautiful. Okay. I think I want to look at the body first. How can we care for our body? Oh. Okay. I think, oops, sorry. We have the Hermit and the 8 of Coins. So I love how, I mean, the first thing that comes to me with all of these, the Flow Tarot cards, is the keywords or key phrases that it has. So the unseen connection. You know, I feel like even though our bodies, like, you know, it's something that we can sort of touch, we can feel like the like the temperature change, the, you know, like if we're hot, cold, warm, things like that. But I think also just thinking in this card with the Hermit, I'm thinking about the inner things that we can't really see. Specifically, I think about the nervous system very much in that way, like with all of these like little connections and like the light there. And also when I'm looking at the 8 of Coins, I'm thinking very much about the nervous system, as in like all the little things that affect us and kind of change how we are reacting on the inside, and how what's going on within sort of gets mirrored without. And yeah, so I feel like just really focusing in on the deeper inner experience of our body, and not just sort of the outer experience. So obviously outer, I feel like would be like outer activity, but thinking of the inner activity, like our physiological, sensory, how we're reacting to things on the inside. Are they making our heart beat faster? Are they making us maybe feel like clammy hands, or, you know, noticing what those things are, but also noticing when does something make us feel really, really warm and really, really comfortable, and really diving into those things and noticing what those connections are, really noticing what makes our body feel really, really good on the inside. And practicing that like on a regular basis. Absolutely. On a regular basis. And so yeah, let's look at mind next. I want to look at this first. So with the mind, care for our mind with the stars and the illuminated path. Oh my gosh. And the shadows. So this is the star and the moon. That is so freaking cool. Okay. So with this, I just think of like the expansiveness. Like I'm just thinking about how we can expand our mind to feel really hopeful despite whatever, you know, shadows and darkness that we may face. Like what kind of what light do we find on our path, and looking to the stars and looking for the things that bring us joy and make us feel these like really sublime moments. I think that's really interesting to see both of these cards come up, and specifically when it comes to the Tongues of the Mother being the shadows card and not necessarily the moon card. So I think about, yeah, I think how we can care for ourselves is to really find that joy in the midst of the darkness, and focus our mind, maybe meditate on those bright moments that are happening around us, and really centering on those and expanding on them as well. So that's for our mind. Quite a lot of light going on, I'm noticing, like with the stars, with the moon, and with the Hermit, we have that light going on there. So very much maybe thinking about different lighting. You know, I love mood lighting, so I'm really thinking of that in this moment. And for our spirit, so sort of in that energetic place. Oh my gosh, so many majors. My goodness. Okay, so we have the floating one in between worlds with the nine of cups here. What is it called? Cups here? Pots. It's called pots here. Nine of pots. So, oh, I'm thinking about like feeding our it's funny because when I was thinking cups, I was thinking one way, but then as soon as I started thinking about pots, I started thinking about food, and food for the spirit is really, and I love how it's between worlds with this one, and there's like this beautiful reflection with the floating one. This is for the hanged man or the hanged one, but I love that it's the floating one. So I'm just thinking about floating and feeding that sense of ease and that sense of surrender of the mind, that sense of just like almost like a lazy river of the mind. Like, what is it that brings you to that place, and really feeding yourself that as much as possible, and allowing yourself to feel that as much as possible, and really or maybe taking yourself there and seeing how does it feed you. Yeah, it's giving lazy river in your energetic field. Like was providing that feel, that vibe. Oh, I love this. It's so pretty, and I love how the green is like whoosh. And I just love how we have so many majors. It's so cool how we have, you know, the stars, the moon, the hermit, and the floating one, and the eight of coins, the nine of pots. It just feels like a really positive time of just illuminating ourselves in a holistic way, just bringing light into our experience, bringing ease into our experience, and really practicing that as a nurturing and nourishing feeding ourselves practice. But yeah, so that's what I have for us. Thank you so much, Janaki, for making this incredible video series, which I love and I always look forward to. And definitely you guys should all check her out if you haven't already. I'm sure you probably already know, but yeah, that's all I got, and I am so excited to hear any of your thoughts in the comments if you're also feeling these vibes, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, friends.